This evening, we'll be presenting our BMFA General Awards to those who provided exceptional service to the association, followed by the Achievement Scheme Awards given to members who've been recognised by their peers for providing outstanding support to the delivery of the Achievement Scheme. Appropriate recognition of exceptional sporting achievement and of the dedication to model flying by members and volunteers is the highlight of our year, and it would normally take place in the grandeur of our annual dinner. Sadly, for reasons which we're all too well aware, 2020 has been far from a normal year. The COVID-19 pandemic decimated our flying and competition season, and it soon became clear that we'd be unable to host our awards ceremony in the normal fashion. Nevertheless, some competitions were able to take place, and great work's been done at clubs throughout the country to ensure that flying could continue safely as soon as it was allowed. And our members have been both encouraged and rewarded to improve their flying standards through the Achievement Scheme, whose importance has been really underlined this year by the CAA's Drone Regulation and Education Scheme. It's therefore especially pleasing that we're able to publicly acknowledge those who've won trophies and received awards this year in this online ceremony. Whilst Zoom and similar applications are becoming ever more familiar to us, we're all learning all the time, and one lesson that we learned from last week is that the lack of immediate feedback and appreciation that would normally be shown made the evening slightly flatter than we'd hoped it would be. So therefore, I'd like to invite you to acknowledge the recipients this evening, and I encourage you to do that in 3 ways. As you'll all be muted, we won't actually hear you if you clap, but we could certainly see clapping in the background. Or alternatively, you could open the chat box and raise a comment in the chat box. Or if you look at the bottom right hand of your screen, you'll see an icon marked reactions. And behind that are a few emojis that you might wish to throw up on screen. Before handing over to our Master of Ceremonies for the first part of the proceedings, I must formally thank our sponsor for this evening, John Lawton, a BMFA member, whose company Admanum UAS Technologies has generously sponsored this evening's event by providing engraved glassware for all recipients and a small bottle of champagne, which is very much appreciated and will provide a permanent memento of the evening. So without further ado, I'll hand back to Peter Hellman, a fellow of the Society and chairman of our awards committee, who will announce the general awards.
We will continue now. We'll begin our awards this year with the fellowships of the Society. We start this evening with the fellowships of the SMAE. Fellowship of the SMAE to Christopher Allen. Chris has been a UK scale judge for 3 decades. He's been a member of the BMFA Scale Technical Committee for 14 years. He is currently Rules and Safety Officer. His achievements have included the creation and amendment of the current BMFA Scale Rules and the associated BMFA Scale Technical Committee Judges Guide. He is currently in the process of creating a BMFA STC Contest Director's Guide. In addition, he has been Scale Contest Director at the Power Nationals for 7 years. He has represented the UK at SIAM, attending many technical meetings. He has had significant influence on the current FAI scale rules. Chris has also been a member of the FAI Scale International Judges team for several years, judging at many championship scale competitions. When he eventually retires from the STC, it will be a very hard act to follow. Chris is also recommended for a Royal Aero Club award. Please join me in congratulating Chris on his fellowship.
Yes, thank you. It's Ian Pallister here. I've had the pleasure of judging with Chris on numerous occasions and worked with him on the Scale Technical Committee for many years. His wisdom on scale matters is legend throughout the world, and I'm delighted to welcome him to the fellowship. So well done, Chris.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you. The next fellowship goes to Maurice Doyle. Maurice has been actively aero modelling since the early 1950s, mainly flying free flight control line models. He has held many posts within the Belfast Model Flying Club. At an early age, he was a junior representative on the committee, of which he is now the chairman. Maurice has been and is still active in promoting model flying in Northern Ireland. He was an active member of MACI, holding the post of Treasurer and Flightlines Editor. He was instrumental in the foundation of the Northern Ireland Association of Aeromodelers, which in time became Area 13 of the BMFA. Maurice has been a permanent member of the Area Committee, first as Secretary and for the last 10 years as Chairman. Maurice continues to work to place aeromodelling to the forefront of local and national government levels. He has given his time freely for the past 5 decades. Please join me in congratulating Maurice on his fellowship. David?
Maurice has done an outstanding job for us and the model flies in Area 13, and I'm delighted that his long-term contribution has been recognised with our highest accolade. So well done, Maurice, and thoroughly well deserved.
The next award is an honorary membership of the SMAE. Honorary membership to Mick Lewis. Mick has had a long career in control line combat. Winning the European Championship in 1977, he was a founder member of the Glevum Combat Team. When the Combat Flyers Association specialist body CFA was formed in the early 1990s, he became their secretary, holding the post for 15 years. He supplied streamers for all UK combat competitions. Through his hard work and enthusiasm during that period, he has helped to develop the CFA and Vintage Combat. He organised the national championships, acting as contest director for many years until he retired in 2018. Vintage Combat is the best supported control line competition. The success of these competitions is due to the hard work and dedication shown by Mick. He served on the Control Line Technical Committee for 10 years, acting as treasurer for most of those years. Mick is also recommended for Royal Aero Club Award. Please join me in congratulating Mick on his award of honorary membership. Simon.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. Just to follow up from Peter's comments, congratulations, Mick, on your hard work and dedication over the years and for your service to Control Line Vintage Combat. Very well done.
We now have the award of 3 SMAE medals. SMAE medal to David Tappin. Dave is a well-known modeler whose experience spreads over many years. Starting at the age of 12, he has flown all types of model aircraft with the exception of control line speed. In the early 1980s, his energies were transferred to the judging at F3A and later to judging scale jet models with the International Jet Modelers Association, IJMA. He judged in the first Jet World Masters in 1995. From 1998 to 2003, he was a team manager for the GBR F3A team. Dave served on the committee of the JMA for a number of years, undertaking the key role of safety officer at a time when turbine models use was growing and turbine model safety was at the forefront. He remains an honorary board member of the IJMA with responsibility for judges' representatives. David is a very active member of the West Wimborne Model Aero Club, which he joined in 1973. He served as a committee member, club instructor, and event organizer for many years. Dave is also nominated for a Royal Aero Club Award. Please join me in congratulating Dave on his award. Duncan.
Peter, can I just say that I've had the honour of working with David on the JMA committee for several years, where I think it's fair to say that his wisdom is often put to good use. Congratulations on this award, David. Very well deserved.
SMAE medal to Graham Kennedy. Graham has been an enthusiastic worker on behalf of the radio control scale in both national and international levels. He is well regarded international judge, judging at FAI World Championships and the USA Top Gun competitions. He is a member of the BMFA Scale Technical Committee, currently holding the post of Treasurer. He was selected to be team manager for the 2020 GBR F4C team. He organised team practice sessions, which will enhance the chances of medals at the championships. which will not be held now until 2021. He has initiated a series of lectures on Zoom, which are intended to increase the number of participants in scale competitions and to improve the standard of all scale model flying. His enthusiasm for the lectures has resulted in the exposure of the BMFA scale to a worldwide audience. Please join me in congratulating Graham on his award. Ian.
Yes, I don't think there's anyone who's done more than Graham in recent years to promote competition scale flying in all its guises, not just radio control. And certainly his fortnightly Zoom sessions have truly gone global. I'm delighted that his efforts have been acknowledged by his peers, and thoroughly congratulate Graham on the award of the medal. Well done.
SMA medal to Ian Newton. Ian became chairman of the Leatherhead Model Flying Club in 2018 and has provided outstanding leadership and personal commitment to address a series of deep-seated problems and reverse a long-term decline in the club. His achievements include recruiting new members to the club, setting up a club website via the BMFA website, improving pilot training with the use of buddy boxes. This has been complemented by a training schedule using a number of new BMFA registered instructors. The measures described have transformed the fortunes of the club. There has been an influx of members, more than 1/3 of whom have joined in the past 12 months. The existing membership has become vibrant and enthused, with better flying times and enthusiastic environment effectively communicated via the club WhatsApp group. Please join me in congratulating Ian on his award. Andy.
Very well-deserved award for Ian. The club are really reaping the benefits of Ian's hard work and dedication. Well done, Ian.
We now have a certificate of merits. Certificate of merit to Ian Taylor. Ian Taylor has been a dedicated Barton Club committee member for years. For the past 20 years, he has maintained the 5 control line flying circles, car parking spaces and outfields for the model flying activities on Manchester City Airport, Barton Airfield, a task which he willingly accepted. He also maintains the fleet of mowers used by the club. Ian is usually the first to arrive at the airfield and the last to leave at the end of the day's flying. The quality of the site is a tribute to his dedicated hard work. Please join me in congratulating Ian on his award. David.
Barton are extremely fortunate to be able to benefit from Ian's long-term commitment and dedication, and I'm pleased that we're able to recognise it in some small way tonight. So well done, Ian.
BMFA Certificate of Merit to John Sidsaff. John has been a member of the Hena and District Model Aircraft Club for almost 5 years. During this time, he has made an outstanding contribution to the club. He has promoted the BMFA Achievement Scheme in order to train many members, becoming the BMFA Achievement Scheme Area Chief Instructor and Examiner. He has given up a good deal of his time to this role, willingly helping anyone who requires his help. When not flying, John will be found mowing the strip, maintaining the mowers or the shed. His personal efforts and his organisation of others have turned a rough field into a smooth, neatly mown and rolled strip that the club is proud of. During the COVID-19 lockdown, John has taken time to keep in regular contact with other club members, especially those who have been shielding. He has offered to collect shopping for them. He is a great ambassador for the club and for the sport of model flying at all levels. Please congratulate John on his award. Simon.
Congratulations, John, on being awarded your certificate, and thank you for your hard work and dedication. You're a fantastic asset to your club and the BMFA. Very well done.
BMFA Certificate of Merit to Louis Ray. Louis has been a member of the Ulster Model Aircraft Club for more than 30 years. He has served on the club committee for many of those years in a variety of posts, including 8 years as chairman. He is an exemplary ambassador for the club and for model flying. He always welcomes new people to the club and to the sport, not only on initial welcome, but seeks to get visitors involved by the use of the club trainer aircraft. This has led to many visitors becoming members of the flying club. He has provided flight training so that they could obtain an A certificate. He attends many shows on behalf of the club, where his candour and patience during his interaction with young people he meets is to be admired. When the club has special days, it is Lewis who organises the barbecue and cooks the food for all who attend. Despite he and his wife suffering from serious illness, Lewis has continued to do his best for the club to the admiration of the members. He is an exemplary ambassador to all aeromodelling. Lewis is also nominated for Royal Aero Club Award. Please join me in congratulating Lewis on his award. Duncan.
Peter, thank you. Louis has actually been a fantastic ambassador for model flying for over 3 decades, welcoming many individuals to our sport. He's particularly great at interacting with youngsters, all of which more than merits this award. So congratulations, Louis.
BMFA Certificate of Merit to Matthew Hoyland. Matt was F3A National Champion for 6 consecutive years from 2014 to 2019. This achievement is a result of his dedication to practice and his enthusiasm to gain international experience by flying at World Cup competitions. He was instrumental in introducing the FAI finals schedule to the BMFA National Championships. At the same time, he made sure that all pilots have an equal and fair opportunity to compete no matter which aerobatic class they fly in the national leagues, which are organised by the Great Britain Radio Control Aerobatic Association. Matt has been Vice Chairman of GBR-CAA for the past 6 years. For the last 3 years, Matt has run the flight line at the BMFA Payload Challenge event. Please join me in congratulating Matt on his award. Andy.
I worked for a number of years with Matt coordinating the Electric Indoor Masters, and he certainly made the job an awful lot easier because of his organisational skills, respect from all the pilots and his hard work. So very well done, Matt, well deserved.
BMFA Certificate of Merit to Michael Dudley. Michael Mick Dudley is the founder of the Buzzard Flying Club, and he is currently the club chairman. He is a tireless promoter of the BMFA and has promoted all aspects of aeromodelling for more than 40 years. He maintains an excellent relationship with the landowner and has secured the flying club site field against several potential threats. Largely due to his efforts, the club has grown to a very healthy membership, which enjoys a high-class flying field. Mick's own aeromodelling history reads like a boy's own book. His small flat is a working museum of aeromodelling and boasts a full-size lathe which actually lives in his bathroom. Mick's skills as an engineer are regularly used by the club members to fabricate all manner of parts. Mick represents the finest principles of the BMFA, teaching, training and encouraging others while promoting aeromodelling. Unfortunately, Mick is unable to be with us tonight as he's unwell and is currently in hospital. I'm sure that you will all join me in wishing him a speedy recovery. Please join me in congratulating Michael on his award.
Peter,
Yes.
I've had the pleasure of working with Mick at South Midland area meetings for many years, where he can always be relied upon to make informed and considered input on matters, particularly all the matters relevant to clubs, and he thoroughly deserves this award. So well done, Mick.
Thank you. BMFA Certificate of Merit to Richard Bishop. Richard has been a member of the Fenland Model Flying Club for 5 years. During that time, he's done a great deal to improve the club facilities, going above and beyond the usual duties of a committee member. The club 5-acre field are cut and maintained by an outside company. However, standards began to slip and the service was erratic. Richard's employers then quoted for the work, but it was too expensive. Through his efforts in persuading the company to a special deal, the club was able to employ the contractor to maintain the field. With Richard doing the work, the quality of the field was transformed. At the beginning of 2020, due to an increased workload, it was not possible for the work to be done during the normal working week. Richard asked his employer to allow him to carry out the work in his own free time. His employer agreed and subsequently cut the fee to the club. He continues to do this work even though he lives 38 miles from the club, requiring a journey of more than an hour each way. Please join me in congratulating Richard on his award. Simon.
Well done, Richard. Richard, you're showing dedication and deserve your certificate of merit for going above and beyond to improve the club facilities at your field. Very well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. BMFA certificate of merit to Walter Mutimer. Walter will be 91 in July 2021, yet continues to be a supportive member of the Ipswich Radio Control Model Club, where he has been a member since 1966. His roles within the club have included chairman and president. Walter has always playing with planes, building his first model at the age of 6. This set the scene for a lifelong interest in aviation. He built his first radio control model in 1957, which he still has in his shed. He is the president of and honorary life member of the club, reflecting 54 years of aero modeling. He is a calm and supportive, and over the years has willingly given his time to instruct novices how to build and fly model aircraft. For many years, he ran a Saturday model aeroplane club teaching young people how to build and fly rubber-powered indoor models. Please join me in congratulating Walter on his award. Duncan. Or David.
Peter, Walter is one of those individuals who has just dedicated his life to our sport, and in doing so has brought it to so many others. So congratulations, Walter. A thoroughly deserved certificate of merit.
We now move on to the Society's trophies. And we will start with the Ray Malmstrom Trophy. The Ray Malmstrom Trophy to Derek Knight. Since the 1980s, Derek has run a cottage industry to supply a range of products to support the sport of scale free flight modelling, not just in this country, but across the world. One of his earliest products was the KP range of ready-to-go electric power units when such things were scarcely available. They were instrumental in establishing the popularity of electric free flight models. Also in the 1980s, CO2 motors were introduced, initially Talcos and Gasparins. Derek's adapter enabled the SodaStream cylinders to be used as a safer, more practical and economic alternative to the charges supplied. Perhaps Derek's most ubiquitous product has been his range of winders for both indoor and outdoor use. There cannot be many free flighters who do not have at least one of these yellow winders in their armory. More recently, Derek's range of electronic timers have helped revolutionize electric free flight, particularly when allied to the most recent offering, the series of electric ducted fan units that have proved so successful in models ranging in size from the old Jetex scale designs up to the larger machines, which we see at most free flight scale model meetings. Please join me in congratulating Derek on his award.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. I've known Derek for more years than I care to remember, and I should add that as well as manufacturing so many useful gadgets, he's put them to great use in his own exquisite free flight scale models, which have won many national and international competitions. I think this recognition is very long overdue, and I heartily congratulate Derek on receiving this trophy. Well done.
The next trophy is the Arthur Mullett Trophy to James Gordon. James is a long-term member of the Caterham and District Model Flying Club. He was introduced to model flying by his father some 40 years ago. Throughout his adult life, he has worked to encourage participation in all aspects of our sport, with a particular passion for fun fly, which is promoted at club and national level. The whole ethos of Fun Fly is to emphasize the fun that can be had by pilots with varying levels of skill and talent at a reasonable cost. After many years of participation, James assumed the role of contest director at the Fun Fly at the British National Championships. James worked particularly hard to publicise Fun Fly. This hard work culminated in the formation of the British Fun Fly Association, which is now a specialist body within the BMFA. James continues to support his model club and is an area chief examiner for the ASRC South East area. James is also nominated for a Royal Aero Club Award. Please join me in congratulating James on his award.
James is another award winner I've worked with, this time at the Nationals, where James ensures the Fun Fly flight line runs like clockwork. So it's again very well deserved.
The next trophy is the Roger Bedford Memorial Trophy. Roger Bedford Memorial Trophy to Tony Shortell. Tony has been a pilot for many years, flying aircraft ranging from Seafires to aircraft carriers to Tridents with British European Airways. A lifelong aero modeler, he was always been enthusiastic about helping young people to learn to fly, and for a time spent one day a week at Ludgrove School in Wokingham teaching children how to build and fly model aircraft. Amongst his pupils were Princes William and Harry. Tony has always been keen for members to develop their skills and to progress through the BMFA Achievement Scheme. He is still a senior instructor and examiner. Tony was a founding member of the South East Berks Model Flying Club in 1999 and is currently the club chairman. He is a kind and generous gentleman who is an exemplar of a senior BMFA member. Unfortunately, Tony is unable to be with us tonight as he is unwell. The club will arrange a presentation for him at their flying field in the new year. I'm sure that you will join me in wishing him a speedy recovery and congratulating Tony on his award.
Yeah.
Tony. Peter, once again, I'm very proud to say that I've known Tony since the late 1990s when we flew turbines together in the very early days of turbines. He's a true gentleman, an accomplished pilot and a great ambassador for both the Achievement Scheme and our sport. And he's a very, very well-deserved award. Congratulations, Tony.
Yeah. Next, we have the Graham Lynn Rose Bowl. The Graham Lynn Rose Bowl to Dempster Hamilton. Dempster became chairman of the RAFMA during a period of serious decline. Membership was falling and the organisation's relevance to the RAF was unclear. In over 9 years as chairman, Dempster has masterminded a revival in fortunes, which would have been unthinkable at the start of his tenure. The RAFMA's aims were well publicised and its benefits better understood, and the linkage to the BMFA is strong indeed. RAFMA is now a BMFA area. He has instigated many reforms, including rebranding the annual championships, creating a charter to set out RAF MAA's aims, which he has linked to the government STEM scheme. He has also ensured continuing funding from the RAF Sports Board. Dempster is also recommended for Royal Aero Club Award. Please join me in congratulating Dempster on his award. Ian.
Yes, I absolutely second that. As a former chairman of RAFMA, I can appreciate perhaps more than most just the enormity and the importance of what Dempster has achieved in turning around the association. It's a very richly deserved award, and I'm delighted that Dempster is able to join us this evening from his faraway overseas posting. So well done.
Yeah. The final trophy this evening is the Kath Watson Trophy, which is awarded at the chairman's discretion for administrative excellence. I now call upon the chairman of the society, Ian Pallister Fellow, to announce who has been awarded this trophy.
Thank you, Peter. As Peter says, this trophy was donated by Kath herself, who was association chairman from 1987 to 2001. She's a fellow of the society and is now one of our 3 vice presidents. This trophy is for administrative excellence, and it's the one award that's within the gift of the current chairman and not the awards committee. This extraordinary year has taxed us all to adapt to new ways of working and social engagement, and maintaining effective communication throughout the whole organisation during this difficult time has been vital to keeping the administration going and our members engaged and informed. In particular, moving all of our meetings and events such as this onto Zoom has involved many, many hours of work for the recipient, much of it in antisocial hours of evenings and weekends, in order to exploit the capabilities of the application. The training task to enable members of all ages and technical ability to participate effectively on Zoom has been immense, and it's been undertaken with patience and good humour. The recipient's commitment to the cause has also seen him voluntarily act as host and controller for numerous meetings that were not directly his responsibility. Andy Symons was awarded this trophy in 2018 for his work introducing the Go membership system that transformed the administration of our clubs and members. And I had no hesitation in selecting him again for another year's outstanding work. And we've seen how important that is this evening to the effectiveness of the association. So the Chairman's Award goes to our Club Support Officer, Andy Symons.
Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you, Ian. Please join me in congratulating Andy on his award. David has a few words.
Yeah, Andy's role within the BMFA staff has developed into something very different to the one that I signed him up for back in 2012. I'm delighted that the chairman has decided to recognise Andy's outstanding contribution to our work in what's certainly been a challenging year this year, but also one in which Andy has risen to every challenge. I'd like to add my own personal thanks to Andy and congratulate him on his award. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done, Andy.
I now have the pleasure in handing over to Duncan McClure, who will announce the ASRC awards.
Thank you, Peter. Before I start this part of the proceedings, I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank both the chairman and the vice chairman for inviting me to present the Achievement Scheme Awards this evening. I feel very proud and honoured to be able to do so. As you will see, I will be ably assisted by Andy Symons, BMFA Club Support Officer. But before I start, I'd just like to say a few words about the awards themselves. As I'm sure many of you will be aware, the Achievement Scheme Awards are made to members for either service to and/or promotion of the Achievement Scheme, or to a successful test candidate who has displayed outstanding attitude, determination, diligence, and/or performance in the lead to and/or during a test. And our recipients tonight are excellent examples of these merits. Our first award tonight goes to Charles Lee. Charles, or Charlie to his friends, was nominated for this award not only for his support of the Achievement Scheme, but also for his work in support of the Keighley and District Model Aircraft Club. As well as being the club treasurer, Charlie is also a BMFA qualified instructor and club examiner, and he leads the training program at the club. He is involved in all club activities, from taking potential new members for trial flights to organising and running the club's Flight Fest events. He is often to be found foregoing his own flying activities in order to devote his time and effort to instructing others. And he also spends many hours assisting members with their model builds and setups. Charlie attended all of the Achievement Scheme Zoom sessions this year, as well as helping out at all of the Achievement Scheme coaching and testing days at BMFA Buckminster. Charlie is exactly the type of individual that clubs need to promote and run the Achievement Scheme, and is a deserved recipient of this award. The Achievement Scheme Certificate of Merit to Charles Lee.
I had the pleasure of assessing Charlie for his club examiner rating, during which he performed extremely well on a very cold and windy day, which is the usual conditions at the Keighley Club site on Harden Moor in my experience. But it's a very, very well-deserved award. Well done, Charlie.
Congratulations, Charlie.
Our next award is for Peter Pocock. Peter was nominated for an Achievement Scheme Award by his club, the Fleet and District Model Aero Club, where he is an active instructor. He's liked and respected in equal measure for his attitude towards other members, his own abilities, and his enthusiasm in helping others progress in our sport. The training load within the club has been high, and Peter's willingness to forego his own flying in favour of taking on eager and sometimes frustrated pupils has made a huge difference to the club's ability to cope. Peter's attitude towards training is exemplary, leading pupils at a pace that suits them and challenging them when they are ready. It is heartwarming to see the delight on pupils' faces as a result of the help and support they get from Peter. Peter is also the first to become involved when someone needs a helping hand. He has the knack of encouraging visitors to have a go, usually on his own buddy box system. As an ambassador for our sport, the Achievement Scheme and his club, he is unequalled and a deserving recipient of this award. The Achievement Scheme Certificate of Merit to Peter Pocock.
I'd also like to give my congratulations to Peter and say very well deserved. As many of you have heard me say in the past, instructors are the lifeblood of the future of our sport, and we are all indebted to them at one level or another. And as I often say, even world champions were beginners once. So well done, Peter. Our next award goes to David Holyoake. David was nominated for this award by his club, the Bromsgrove Model Flying Club. David took up our sport and subsequently passed his A test while suffering with the debilitating effects of Parkinson's disease. He has worked tirelessly to achieve this goal, and since passing, he has also overcome the further challenge of changing from mode 2 to mode 1 to help with control due to the developing side effects of his illness. During poor weather, when he was unable to fly, he practiced daily on the simulator to keep his skills in tip-top condition. The restrictions of COVID-19 presented another setback, but again, he was determined not to let this get in his way and continued practicing on the online simulator with fellow club members. David has also been a huge help to other members, using his engineering knowledge and skills to make or repair mechanical parts for their models. The Bromsgrove Model Flying Committee believes that David demonstrates just what can be achieved with the right mindset and attitude, and that he would make a deserved recipient of this award. So an Achievement Scheme Certificate of Merit for David Holyoake.
I had the pleasure of meeting David briefly yesterday using Zoom to ensure all was working so he could join us this evening. His enthusiasm really shines through, and I can understand why he's considered so highly in his club. Well done, David. Next up for an award, we have Joseph Kemp. Joseph was nominated for this award by his club, the Eric's Odd Bods Flying Club. His chairman, Todd Fowler, reports that Joseph is an excellent young man of great integrity and understanding of our sport. He's always willing to impart his knowledge to others without hesitation and has the knack of explaining things in a way to help understanding. Joseph is a member of the club committee, where he works hard alongside others to do the best for club members, and his work on the new club flying site has been invaluable. However, the most impressive display of his ability was at a recent trip to BMFA Buckminster to be assessed as a club examiner. After 2 days of tutoring, he was able to take the assessment on the final day. Joseph not only flew the B test in very challenging conditions and with a very light aircraft, he managed to impress his assessors and the many other examiners and chief examiners, including the scheme controller, who were looking on. All were highly impressed by his flying prowess, and Joseph did not balk once at the gazing eyes. Even though Joseph is only 22, I cannot find enough praise for this young man. He's 100% dedicated to our sport, and I feel in the future will become even more of an asset to the BMFA and to the Achievement Scheme. So an Achievement Scheme Certificate of Merit is awarded to Joseph Kemp.
As Andy mentioned in the citation, I met Joseph at the Buckminster testing days this year, and I have to say that I was impressed not only with his ability, but also his energy and enthusiasm for the scheme. So well done, Joseph, a deserved recipient of an Achievement Scheme Certificate of Merit. Congratulations. Our next recipient of an award is David Blakemore. Unfortunately, David can't be with us tonight, but I believe some of his clubmates are here. David was nominated for this award by his club, the Loughborough Model Flying Club, of which he is the chairman. David is a fixed-wing club examiner and instructor, and is nominated in recognition of his ceaseless devotion and dedication to instructing club novices up to A certificate level. He is the club's only registered instructor and has been so for many years. Weather and holidays permitting, he spends every Tuesday and Saturday at the club field teaching others to fly. At any one time, he will have typically 10 novices on his books. In addition to carrying out the actual flying instruction, he is also gainfully employed teaching novices how to set up their models and maintain them in flying condition. With so much time spent helping others, it is no surprise that he gets little time to fly his own models, but he never complains and is always keen to take on new novices and give potential new members a test flight on the buddy box to see if the sport is for them. David is an all-round super guy and a huge credit to the club, the achievement scheme and the BMFA. The club would be lost without him, and we believe he firmly deserves this award. An achievement scheme certificate of merit to David Blakemore.
I've spoken to a few of David's club members and they all speak very highly of him. So congratulations to David and very well done.
Okay, thanks, Andy. This now concludes the Achievement Scheme Awards part of the evening. And at this point, before I hand back to the Vice Chairman, I'd just like to say thanks to all those involved for making this evening happen. And a special thank you to John Lawton of Ad Manum UAS Technologies for his support and generosity in helping fund the gifts for our award winners. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Duncan and Andy. That was very good. Thank you. Well, this concludes the Society's awards for 2020. I would like to congratulate all of you who have received awards this evening and thank you all for the work which you have done for the Society. I will now hand you over to the Society Chairman, Ian Pallister, Fellow.
Thank you, Peter. I'd just like to add my own congratulations to all of this evening's award recipients and trophy winners. Now, before I wrap up the proceedings, I think our President, Sir Michael Alcock, would just like to say a few words. So over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ian. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. It's a lot easier speaking like this than having to shout over the hubbub of conversation whilst people are enjoying their meals or about to. Well done, I think, also this evening to our Master of Ceremonies. The whole evening has gone very smoothly. I don't know about you, but this has certainly been the strangest year of my life. And I'm sure I speak for many of us in saying that we'll be glad to see the end of it. Let's hope for better things next year. It's been a very busy year for the committee, coping with new regulations, which I'm sure have tested them, and to which I hope we have contributed in a useful way to the resolution of these things. And it also, as we've seen this evening, the way in which you've coped with all this new technology and a different way of running the association, I think is very, very impressive. So well done, all of you. You've risen magnificently to the challenges that we've put in front of you. So I would say the association is in good shape and in very good hands. And my thanks at this stage to the army of volunteers, without which I know many of these things that we've heard about this evening simply would not happen. They are not here for us to say that personally, but we must make sure that they are not forgotten. So thank you to all. Congratulations, lastly, to all of our award winners. And I think it was very nice to be able to sit here in the comfort of one's home and listen to those citations and at least get some reaction from some of the people involved. It is a highlight of the evening for me to listen to your achievements. Amazing. And it really emphasizes the special nature of this society, which is so different to so many others. So tremendous work. Congratulations to all of you. And let me end, not by wishing you a safe journey home, but by asking you to raise your glasses and drink a toast. Join with me in a toast to the British Model Flyers Association.
BMFA.
BMFA.
Yes, BMFA.
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 And all who sail in her.
Right, thank you, Sir Michael. Right, well, it only remains for me to thank you all for your participation this evening, and to reiterate, especially to our sponsor, Ad Manum, to Andy Symons for his usual contribution to making the technology, I would say, run smoothly, but at least to overcoming the occasional hiccup, and to Duncan McClure for organising the gifts that all the recipients should now have in their possession. Thank you to those of you watching on YouTube, whether it be tonight or on catch up later. I hope that you've enjoyed the ceremony, but we do acknowledge that this is a poor substitute to being able to meet in person and shake the hands of those who are receiving awards. I reiterate the President's words. Let's hope that we return to some semblance of normality next year. And looking further ahead to celebrate the association's centenary in 2022. We have some exciting plans starting to formulate for what we can do in that anniversary year. And I sincerely hope that everything will be back to normal and we'll be able to make the most of that unique opportunity. So I wish you all a joyful Christmas and a happy and healthy new year. That completes the proceedings for tonight. Those of you who are registered participants, you're welcome to stay online for a chat if you wish. To those of you on YouTube who are leaving now, then I wish you all a very good night, and thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
Thanks, Ian.